All right, my name is Amber Green, and welcome to the Gum Podcast, Safe Sex Talk. So this is the first episode, and it's 2026, and safe sex is like so needed. Like, and people probably think of safe sex, and they think, if I'm only having sex with one person, then I don't need safe sex. No, you don't know who that other person is having sex with. Okay. At this point in this day and age, when you can go on your phone and look up strangers, to have sex with, I feel like everybody should be having safe sex, and we're not. But we have to talk about why we're not. Like, is condoms not convenient? You know, who should have the condom? Should the girl have the condom or should the boy have the condom? Both of them. That's why I came up with underwear that have a condom pocket on them. Okay. And yes, I'm promoting my underwear, but at the same time, we really need to get safe sex back in the culture for sure, like some way, somehow. And that's why I came up with this product. It's more of a mission to bring safe sex back into our culture. It has to be a whole cultural shift, okay? Because this right now is too much. It's too much going on. Like, the fact that you risk yourself every time you have sex unprotected, like the statistics of how many people have STDs, and it's not even just STDs. Like, there's so many kids in this world that, suffer from their situations, um, that it could have been avoided. There's so many adults that suffer from situations that could have been avoided. And it's time. So yes, I was gonna deal with this script. I really was. And no, because I need to tell you the truth that you already know. And some people don't know. Some people don't know about safe sex. Some people don't know about sex. Okay. Sex education in school was what? Did everybody even have it? Raise your hand if you had sex education. And then how in depth was it? Did they teach you how to put on a condom? Who taught you how to put on a condom? Girls need to know too. You need to know if he's doing it wrong. For sure. So yeah, those are these things. These are things we're going to talk about on this segment of my podcast. Yeah, I will definitely do a episode where we demonstrate how to use a condom. Yeah. I will talk a little bit about the story that was sent in. We will have people sending in stories. Send in your story if you want anybody to know. You can definitely be anonymous. It's definitely going to be totally anonymous. But sometimes you don't want people to go through what you went through. Save a soul, like, from the headache, so the generations to come can grow and learn. Everybody wasn't talked to about sex. Pretty much we just jumped into it before telling my age, but before, you ain't even had the internet. You had BET After Dark, maybe. Okay, if you had HBO back in the day and could stay up past a certain time, maybe your parents had a damn porno that you snuck. But we ain't really, like, these kids can go on there. What is sex? Like, and they not even asking the right questions. How how often can you get pregnant? You can definitely get pregnant from the first time you have sex. Like, they're not asking the right questions. No, you cannot get pregnant from oral sex, but yes, you can have consequences that are deadly. So just because you don't have vaginal sex, or doesn't mean that you're not at risk for things. So still make him use a condom. I know everybody's like, oh my God, a condom. Well, at least the people my age, and that's what's wrong with us. That is what's wrong with us. Even people in marriage and in partnership probably need to have safe sex, especially in this economy. Yeah, the kids is cute, be fruitful, yeah, all that shit until you can't feed them. Until one of them has to go without shoes because you can't buy it, you know, or you don't have time for the kid. You can have all the money in the world, but then your job is so demanding that a kid right now you would have to choose, and you got to make the money. So, or you don't like the person. If you have sex for the first time, you don't know if you like that person. Some people have sex and that's the first day they meeting. So you really don't know anything about this person. Even if you date somebody for a year, we need to start talking about the right questions to ask before you engage in intercourse. Do you have any deadly illnesses? And not even just STD related. Do you have something that, if it passes on to my child, I wouldn't want it to pass on? So, you just have to talk about those things. We had to talk about people's ancestors too. Ancestors meaning, what was your mama like? What was your daddy like? What was your grandmother like? We need to ask these questions before engaging, because literally a baby can come out of sex. A lot of stuff can, if you do not protect yourself. And that's why protecting yourself is so important. I'm not going to tell you not to have sex. I feel like that's unrealistic in 2026, even though abstinence, I'm not saying that I abstain, but I'm saying I'm with it if you want to. But yeah, we need to talk about this, because in 2026 it's so easy to hook up with anybody, and the temptation is there. But we have to shift the conversation to safe sex. And that's why, this brand right here, when you see somebody wearing this logo, oh, they with it. They with the safe sex. They at least are trying to go towards that. And that gives you a peace of mind that, okay, maybe they're having safe sex with somebody else. They have on, that's what I'm trying to do, shift the culture. I want you to see this brand and know, all right, that person cares about their body and their future. All right, it might be a good idea to have intercourse with them, because they are at least trying to get with this movement of safe sex. Whew, that was a mouthful. This is my first episode. Y'all gotta give me a second. A second to come together. Let me look at my notes, okay? Well, this we actually can read. We actually going to read the letter that was sent in. And I will put the email in the description, or the TikTok, or the all the socials in the description, wherever you want to send in your story and let people hear it and let people be inspired to care about their body. Yeah, I'll put it in the link so you guys can send me your stories and I will read them on here. All right. So this letter that I'm about to read is called What I Wish I Knew. Dear listeners, I'm 24 years old. I'm writing this because I wish someone told me the truth earlier. Not a fairy tale version of love, but the real consequences of unprotected sex, manipulation, and believing someone else could take responsibility for my body. My first pregnancy happened when I was 17. I was dating a man that was 21. He had 2 children from another woman already. I knew he was still involved with her, but I still loved him. Young and in love, I thought love meant loyalty, patience, and sacrifice, even when the signs were right in front of me telling me otherwise. When I found out I was pregnant, I knew immediately that I wasn't ready to be a mother. I didn't have the financial means or support system that I needed to raise a child. I told my boyfriend I planned to have an abortion, and he told me he would pay for it. The day before my appointment, I called him to confirm the cost. That's when he told me he lied. He said he would never pay to kill his child. I was furious, confused, and heartbroken. Out of desperation, I called the mother of his children thinking that she wouldn't want another baby mama in the picture. Instead, she laughed and told me she was standing right next to him. She said, if he wants more kids, that's what he wants. I never felt so small. I scrambled to find the money on my own. When I finally called the clinic to confirm my appointment, they told me that because I was under 18, I would need a legal guardian and a driver. I never planned to tell my parents. I was ashamed, I was scared, but the law didn't care about my fear. Even after all of that, after the lies and the humiliation and the abandonment, I stayed. I was drunk on love and too young to understand manipulation, and as it was disguised as affection. A year later, I was pregnant again. This time, I paid for the abortion myself. I knew bringing a child into that situation wasn't fair to me or the baby. I finally broke up with him emotionally, but never fully let go. I dated other people, but no one felt like him. I was confused that attachment with love. I didn't believe in birth control. He convinced me condoms weren't necessary. I trusted his words more than I trusted my own body. By the time I turned 24, I had 5 abortions, every single one by the same man. By that age, he had 3 more kids by another woman. The last time I got pregnant, something in me broke. I told myself I had already been through too much. I thought maybe this time I could have the baby. Maybe this was my chance to do something different. A week later, I received a text message from his phone. It was a picture of a pregnant woman's belly. She looked 8 or 9 months pregnant. My heart dropped, my chest tightened, and I knew. I knew that keeping that baby would mean tying myself forever to someone who had never protected me emotionally or physically. I made a decision once again to have an abortion. What I didn't fully understand until later was that repeated abortions can damage your uterus. No one talks about that part. No one talks about how prevention is easier than recovery. No one tells you that trusting someone else with your reproductive health can cost you your future. I'm not telling you this story to be judged. I am telling it because I wish I had protected myself sooner. Love should never cost you your health, and sex should never come without responsibility. If you're listening to this and you see yourself in my story, please hear me. Protecting yourself does not mean you trust. Protecting yourself doesn't mean you don't trust your partner. It means you value yourself. Sincerely, someone who learned the hard way. Wow. And you don't judge people, and because you never know what you're gonna go through. But let's kind of unpack this. I get it to an extent, birth control definitely has side effects, but people don't know that abortions can do things to you mentally and physically. Um, and some people have, more than that, and that's not cheap. First of all, let me tell you something: a condom is way cheaper than an abortion, a box. Okay, seriously, but it only takes one time to get pregnant. Okay, you got about 10 condoms in that box. Just spring for the medium size. Um, but yeah, this can happen to anybody. Seriously. And before you even go down that road, let's protect yourself before, you know. Share this podcast with your sons and your daughters that are of age, and your nieces and nephews, and even your spouse. We're going to have a whole episode, and probably episodes to come, dedicated on safe sex with your spouse, and what that looks like. Seriously. Yeah. Okay. Let's wrap this up. Let's see what I have on my list of things to wrap this up. Oh my God. Look how many papers I got that I ain't even read. It's okay. I'm just gonna talk to y'all normal. Like, AI not talking to y'all normal. They talking to y'all AI. I'm about to be talking to y'all normal. Anyway. Um. Okay. Let's see here. All right. I'm gonna leave you guys with some words of encouragement, and hopefully, you listen to old auntie. I ain't old yet though. Okay. I'm still a 90s baby. But anyway, I'm gonna leave you guys with some words. Please be safe out there. It's too much going on in the world. The young lady we uh, read about today, she didn't mention anything about lifelong uh, side effects. Um, it can damage your uterus, but some people lose their life because they can't wrap it up. And just please protect yourself and protect your family by encouraging them to have safe sex. And we have to make it a conversation again. You can tell them about the birds and the bees, but we need to protect them a little bit more than that and tell them what happens after the birds and bees get together. Okay. Sorry about my southern voice. Yeah. All right. So you guys, please like and subscribe. Uh and so you can hear about this and we can start this movement, and you guys can start this movement with me. All of my links will be down below. This is just the first episode. This is the journey, beginning of the year. It's gonna be a good year. So please share this and stay tuned for the next episode.